because it's election time. We're telling the people, boy. Were you really telling the people, Keith Rowley? Let me have a conversation. Come now, man. Like you run out of ideas or somebody hit you with a stupid brush. You're telling the people, I want to read what the man say. He telling the people that he, as the Prime Minister, put the nation at risk to please Kamala and she friends. So he telling us on one hand that Kamala and she friends stupid. They don't care about you and your family health. But who in charge of the borders? Dave Locks, hush you about tonight. I have no time with you tonight. I'm going to send Glenn Robinson for you. Listen. Choo-choo talk. You want to... You literally cut off all of we knows the spite we face. To prove a point that Kamala's stupid is what you're saying, that you open the gates and letting people and infect the nation. Do you know, Keith Rowley, that is a criminal offense? Daddy, I real good, my eye good, but I had to call you back because I just started my live video. Okay? Okay, bye. Now, but Keith Rowley, you don't know that's a criminal offense? You are saying to the people, Mr. Commissioner of Police, Mr. Director of Public Prosecutions, this man is admitting to reckless disregard for human suffering. This is a madman. Keith Rowley, you're a madman. Last night I read Aloy Hunt talk about, he write a post, he put out a flyer where he talking to Faris about madmanism. And in his madmanism, he is talking about giving soldiers police powers of arrest and charge. I want to tell Trinidad and Tobago something. Don't accept that from any government. If the Progressive Empowerment Party come into office and tell you we're going to give soldiers police powers, don't accept it from us. 1 million of all you come down the street and throw you out in the road. And say, watch now, we hire all you for that. Soldiers not trained to be police. Soldiers not trained to be police. I remember during the Great Flood in Diego Martin, I still have the film, some soldiers pick up a little black boy and bring him inside our compound, wrong behind a building. And they know I filming them because it was early times for filming, camera phone and social media. And they good beating this boy. So I asked them, I said, gentlemen, why are you beating this young man? Does your uniform give you the authority to beat this young man? Or has a state of emergency been declared that conveys such draconian powers on you? The biggest one stand up to me and ask me, and who are you? I say, I am waiting to collect $1 from him so I can be his legal representative, so I can take your ass to court. And the entire Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force for putting his constitutional rights aside so that you and your two partners here could play mahjong. And one by one, they bounce me and walk out the compound and leave the fellow there with his nose bleeding and his eye bleeding. He tell me thanks. I say, brother, let's go your way and avoid trouble. But so it's all there, boy. So Aloy Hunt come out with himself now. Now Kamala, one of the reasons they fire you in 2015 was solely police, because nobody trusts a parliamentarian with a precepted army. A precepted army is Maduro. A precepted army is Chavez. Nobody wants a precepted army. We want army that gives support to the police. The police has the responsibility to protect and serve. That is their responsibility. If you cannot manage an adequate police service, if you cannot fund and train a police service, then you are not supposed to be in charge of leading the country. But don't detonate no nuclear bombs in our society, please. We do not need soldier police. We never needed soldier police. And if you don't have an idea what to do with the soldiers, then say so. Because for any soldier who wants to become a police officer, he has to go through the rigorous training in the academy that police officers go through to deal with the public, to deal with civil society. Soldiers is blunt force. When you reach to bringing in soldiers, you ain't talking no more. This is kick down door and kick down man thing. And I am not saying that times don't call for that, but this ain't them times. This is not 1990. This is state of emergency, and we need to avoid running the country where we want to push our fists in people's faces. Many people highlight on the stories that get the most news in the social media and other media, but they're not seeing how the position that the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service took to manage the madness of the PNM and COVID-19. Keith Rowley beating his chest all over the place for his management of COVID-19. Well, it is the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service that gave sense to what the government wanted to do. It is the Trinidad, and I don't care who vexed, because the police performed exemplary. And while some of us insist on our right to be wrong, and some of us have a little bit of book sense and a little bit of school sense, and we want to fling that sense at everybody else, I want to tell you something. Coronavirus COVID-19 is not a respecter of your opinion and your knowledge. And it's not a respecter of mine either. In situations, you see how when you watch them fellas on TV, on the Discovery Channel, that is pick up snake and jump on crocodile back and thing? I remember the first time I saw Steve Irwin, I said to my son, this fella, an animal going and kill him. At some point, he going and dead from an animal. And so said, so done. Because they have some things that even though you know how to play with, you still shouldn't play with it. Because it's dangerous. And it's dangerous. And coronavirus is dangerous. Now, it may have only killed 663,000 people for the mathematicians around us who want to say that other things kill more people. And yes, other things do. But this one does also. So if centipede is kill, and scorpion is kill, and snake is kill, and crocodile is kill, and tiger is kill, avoid anything that is kill. So yes, you don't like the mask. Trust me, I hate the freaking mask. Hate it. I'm wearing my mask. I'm wearing my mask because at the end of the day, I don't believe that the government board, or I shouldn't say the government, the World Health Authority, because they may be overcorrecting, and I give you that. But COVID-19 could have killed millions more than have died. Could have killed millions more. And I think that the reason COVID-19 has not killed millions more, and we're using those numbers. You see, the world took action. The world took precautionary measures. The world, between January, March, and now, the world took massive intervention measures. And those measures, lockdown, social distancing, wash your hands, sanitize, masks, some of them might be an overcorrection. And I will horn this kill you to avoid horn. I tell you, don't date no red woman working KFC in Sour. But back on point. Do you remember that list? Capricorn woman is horn. You can see. You lost my vote. As a strong pepper, you see as a Capricorn. No, I'm just joking. But avoid, I want to bring us back to this. Use the Prime Minister. You're not supposed to be playing political games with the people. See? Look at a Capricorn woman rich. You're not supposed to be playing political games with the lives of the people. That's not what they put you for. To whine your ass for a little bit of supporters that you use a PNM education. The day, I nearly do a video outside Fitzgerald Hines in Hillsborough, outside his house in Hillsborough. The day the people of Beetham and Lavantil see the castle Fitzgerald Hines living in, PNM in trouble. The day they see it, while they're struggling, tonight is bread, tomorrow night is butter. You can't get two on the same night. While they're struggling, Mr. Dennis Knock, I am looking for your number everywhere in my phone. I can't find it. I can't find you on Facebook. Mr. Dennis Knock, send me a WhatsApp, please, 682-2110. I've been trying to reach you, sir. Dennis Knock. I just saw you on my Facebook, on my live. Please, my very good friend, WhatsApp me. Don't let Akil Camps hear you. I don't know who you're talking to with that. But listen, true talk. True talk. You're trying to say that the reason we have an outbreak now is that you so stupid, Keith Rowley. Hey, my boy Dennis. Dennis, send me a message, serious, 682-2110. You trying to tell the people, you so stupid, Keith Rowley, that you will let in people with coronavirus to infect and kill other people to prove a point to the UNC? You that much an ass? I mean, come on, man. It takes a lot of rubbing to make an ass shine like you. You are that stupid, and you expect us to believe that? It is only the people who are suffering through a PNM education who thinking 1 and 1 could be 11. Those people will care for you. The rest of the country, when you said it, all of the rest of the country, including the majority of black Trinbagonians who fed up of the PNM, and I want to say, my partner Glenn Robinson, Glenn up in your bass, Glenn say, PNM people vex. You know why they vex? With Pep? They vex with Pep because people moving Pep. People going Pep. PNM no. You think Rowley on the back of his truck for Marsha Walker? People gone Pep. It is fashionable now to be orange. They have a choice. They don't settle for Kamala and she drunken nonsense as a choice. They have a real choice. All they saying my leader talking hard. I glad he talking hard. We was to talk hard long time. I hearing them. Little old ladies coming outside and grabbing my hand and pulling me up in the porch. Sit down there. I'm gonna make a cup of tea for you. I hear you like tea. Watch now. The Progressive Empowerment Party is the People's Empowerment Party. They wanted to mistake we name. Every time the media write we name, they want to put the People's Empowerment Party to get we vexed. But you know what's the truth? That's what we are. We are the People's Empowerment Party. We are empowering the people. That's what we do. That's what we do. That's what I do every night. That's what Felicia and the crew do every morning. We empower the people of Trinidad and Tobago. The Progressive Empowerment Party is the People's Empowerment Party. We own that too. We will take that. We will take that. All I thought this was games. All I thought this was games. When the boys in the back room meet, they say, 28 candidates, all they say he failed. Anybody dealing with them? Anybody have the inside? Anybody make them offer yet? Trinidadians know, Trinidadians waking up. And PNM people vex. PNM's handful of supporters vex. And they vex because they're hearing people in their own house telling you, hush your mouth. You're talking PNM till you're dead, and your cousin dead, and your uncle dead, and your father in jail. PNM till you're dead. Show me how much money you have in your pocket. Open your pocket, pull out your 2 pockets, pull it out. Show me how much money you have. If you have nothing, come on, man. Let me go buy Sabga, let me go buy Abboud, let me go buy Chin, let me go buy Senegal, and tell them pull out their pocket and see what they have. And how come they have and you don't have? They're bright and you stupid. Syrian, Chinese, Indian, bright, and we just stupid. I want my orange t-shirt. Who is that just say that? I sponsored that shirt. Mausi Simba Robert 682-2110. Send me that message. Felicia Holder, Zeda, Kezia, Keisha, any of y'all on the thread tonight, I sponsor, I hope I pronounce your name correctly, Mausi, but I sponsor in that show. The rest of all little trip over yourself and come for the same thing. Eh? Money tight, this wrongs. We're spending all on the media. When they see a call out, Dennis not here, it's because Dennis is a 1%er and Dennis had to pay for some advertising. So he will block me and run and hide. Watch it. No, just joking. But seriously, the people know that half-breed is we half-breed. People say he is the first real black Syrian. Philip Edward Alexander is the gunman in She-Hole. Philip Edward Alexander called out the Minister of Health and asked him where the second wave is supposed to come from, Terence. But that just run through the country like a current. It touch a nerve. You know why? It make them feel, but this man right. He right. They sitting down on my TV every day and talking a bag of shit. From that video, high up and you. Nobody doing no more afternoon show because the people laughing and where it gonna come from? So you tell Stuart, open the borders. Now we cut off we nose, the spike we face, so we can show Philip who we mammy really is. But you're a clown because you failed. You know why you failed? Because on the one hand, your one thing is, we manage coronavirus well. You send Camille, I see somebody ask Camille Robinson Regis, what you're using on that head, WD-40? Well, boy, I roll with that one. Chile is not taking you nice. Rowley, they coming at all you now. Short young, Dogo Balize House election night, you know. Take my prediction. Dogo Balize House election night. Manning didn't expect rotten mango. Manning didn't expect rotten mango to get pelted. He thought he was a god. They try everything with me. They try everything with my name. Look who they send. Look who they send to host Morning Brew. Look who they send. And we're sponsoring ads on the Morning Brew. We're coming on your show, but we're going to choke you with the truth. And you're going to sit down in our studio and you're going to listen. And one of them will take root. And you'll ask, but how come we PNM never really do none of this for the people, boy? How come we never do rain? Chinese laughing at all you. Chinese laughing at all you. You know why? Because they know that we're going to catch the rain. They know that. People know. You see, when I say, you know that I say, but you know it's true. That's a Trini thing. A Trini, when you say something, and you catch them in a point where they can't, this boy, you know it's true. It's true what you're saying. We're going to stop the guns. We're spending $9 billion a year to run down the guns on the land. We could spend $500 million to stop the guns in the sea. But you're true, it's right, you're true. You're right, it's true. We're spending $500 million to desalinate seawater. But we have 10,000 times more water than we could use, and we're sending it in the sea. You're right. Boy, it's true. It's true. Mark Ree's messaging me. I nearly call it live. What you're telling yourself. Satish, Mark wanted to do an interview with you, and I given him your number. But he's telling me, boy, Philip, it's true. You're right. You're right. And they're lying to you. They're lying in your face. They're lying in your face. The man telling you that he's so dotish. The man telling you he's so stupid that he put your mother and your father and my mother and my father at risk to play games with the UNC. But I think they get slapped up for, boy. You cannot be telling me that I so stupid that I would do something like that. You trying to tell me that a political slap up in the polling station. You know what I mean? We don't ever recommend violence, saxophones and violins. But you're trying to tell the nation that you could take chain up you're trying to make Kamala look stupid. You don't have to work hard. Kamala does make she own self look stupid. Kamala can't even read the names of the constituencies anymore. You ever talk to somebody who's stone cold sober, but the tongue so accustomed slurring, it can't talk normal? Rotten with rum. Kamala making up constituency names and the members of the party pretending. That's normal. That's the lady. She's entitled to make an ass of herself. You know how to work hard to make Kamala look stupid, but you make yourself look like a fool. Because the only thing that you had going for you, Keith Rowley, is the lie that somehow you managed coronavirus. Is the lie that somehow you save lives. And no, by next week, we're at 100 cases. That is my prediction. Tonight, Wednesday, the 29th of July, by this time next week, we're at 100 cases. Yes, I take in calls, 682-2110. Of course I take in calls. I always take in calls. By this time next week, we're at 100 cases, and it's Keith Rowley to blame. Baratasaria, yes, Adele, I listened. Barataria, Saria, and Maruga, and what? Maruga and Syria. What did this shed say? But you see, and you know, and the UNC trolls taking my videos and chopping it up and making a whole new thing to sound like, now I just cuss normal. I just talk hard. So when you take my video and make it sound worse, what's the point? I don't mind. But if I just post your normal leader videos, she make her ass of herself. Normal. I don't have to cut. I don't have to edit. But Keith Rowley, you're really telling the people, boy, that you're letting infected people to kill Trinbagonians to make Kamala look bad. So nothing sacred. To make Kamala look bad, you're letting infected people to infect Trinbagonians and kill them to make a point. That's what you're saying, Keith? That's what you're really telling Trinbagonians? Because I see you put out something. The right choice. To this stunting jackass, I ain't say the word jackass, I sure, since the election bell ring. But I apologize tonight. The UNC and all quantum leaping, all of them drunk and jumping all over the place. This is what the PNM put out as a success, and I read this and I thought to myself, it is not accidental. These people really think that what black people in this country want is money in the pocket to go and drink beers on the weekend. I want to say, I told somebody tonight, when white people was jumping around like chimpanzees and living in caves, the continent of Africa invented science, mathematics, astrology. When you look at ancient Egypt and you see the kings and the queens, Nefertiti and Isis and all of them, watch the spread of the nostrils. They shoot off the Sphinx nose because it was a black man's nose. Don't let Hollywood giving you Marlon Brando and Robert De Niro acting as Egyptian kings to fool yourself, you know. Egypt is in Africa. Jesus Christ was a black man. The Middle East is Africa. I black twice, you know. I black on my mother's side and I black on my Syrian Lebanese side too. All the Syrians who think that they're not black, I want to tell you something. You're black. You could have blue eyes now. You're still black because we come from the Middle East. And the Middle East, in the Middle East, we black. Black. So don't pretend for me. Don't pretend. Don't pretend for me. And I'm not leaving out my Indian brothers and sisters, who getting treated the same way, who getting marginalized with this bullshit education. If you go and read the Mahabharata, the most epic poem ever written, out of that the Bhagavad Gita comes. Go and read that and read history and read science again. I'm not knocking my melanin is challenged brothers and sisters. I'm just saying history is written badly, and it is written to keep people back and to fool them so that they don't understand that the real history of the world different to what Hollywood teach you. It's different to what Hollywood teach you. But this is not about that. This is about you, Keith Rowley, and the PNM, who have marginalized, subdued, and kept back black people in Trinidad and Tobago. And if black people in Trinidad and Tobago give me and the Progressive Empowerment Party a chance, we will undo all that. You see, I tell all the story last night about my 4 palm trees. I have four royal palm trees. 4. That in half of, ask Richard Figueroa, see I get it from. They in half an Angostura barrel, and there's only root, no more dirt left. All the dirt gone. It's only roots and tree. They grow as tall as they could grow with their roots confined. But if you let them go, if you put them in the ground and break away the confinement, they will shoot up in the sky 50 feet, 60 feet. And that's how Trinis are. Trinis are like that. Trinis are, if they get away from the PNM and the UNC, if they just get away for a month, Trinis gone. They're gone clear. Trinis on the news, on the media, at the highest of everything. Trinis in the highest of everything in the world. Trini children is actors, actresses, dancers, singers, lawyers, doctors, journalists, architects. They're in space. Trinis everywhere. We fight way beyond our weight class, or what you thought was our weight class, in a country where Eric Williams designed the entire parliament as slave catchers, all of them playing overseer to his massa. So Pandey was massa too. And Kamala and Rowley want to play massa. Slap down, hold down, keep down. Because if you let people rise up, if you let people change their situation and their circumstance, if you let people get educated beyond the bullshit that the Trinidad and Tobago Ministry of Education teaching people children in school, you can't get them to vote PNM. You can't get them to vote UNC. Kamala can't tie nothing on your hand to vote for her. You will tell her, listen, my religion and my politics separate. My politics is me hiring servants to keep my country clean, keep the lights on and the water flowing. I will take care of my worship. Don't mix the two. And to Keith Rowley, who whining for Saganga, 4.5 years later, I give you credit for that. 31 years, boy. You're going to tell the people of Saganga you're going to liberate them. You're going to liberate them. Use the blasted slave catcher king. Is you have them in bondage. It is you, Keith Christopher Mugabe Sabga Rowley, that sell black people to the 1% for the past 31 years, that have them working on slave wages, living like sufferers in squalid shack. Listen, man, don't get me vexed tonight. Don't get me vexed. Don't get me vexed. You're going to liberate from who? Who you liberating Saganga from? The Syrians? The Syrians own you. Who you liberating them from? The 1%? You up in the 1% crack. Who you liberating Saganga from? The only people that Saganga and Broome Street and Covine and Rich Plain and La Puerta and Mason and Patna and Never Dirty and Beverly Hills and the only people they need liberating from is the PNM. It is the PNM that has enslaved black people in Trinidad and Tobago. Under the Queen, black people was rising high. Under the Queen, black people was bright. And they were going incandescent. Or they can block my live all you want to block it. People cutting it, chipping it. People playing my live in the hills of Cascade. You believe that? Man putting out his speakers. Man putting out his speakers on the balcony and playing it for the whole valley to hear. You can block me. Forrest block me, brother. I want to tell you something. Light a candle. Burn incense. March around with chicken bone. Pray, you know, brother. Pray. Pray I don't get the paperwork. Pray I don't have the power of state. Pray I don't have the authority of office to investigate 1 and 3 Alexandra Place. Because you see where you build on the abortionist land? I want to tell you something, brother. You, me and Nahus. Michael Nahus, you know I know. You know I know. So give me the opportunity. Who you liberating them from, Keith Rowley? Who enslaved black Trinbagonians? Who? If not you. If not you, slave catcher, you care about black people? Now we hear them, man. Now we talk. You're afraid of debate. Who it is in Trinidad and Tobago that enslave black people and kept them at the bottom rung? Who? Who? If not the People's National Movement. I told them, you cannot have Black Lives March in Trinidad. You cannot. And don't march on Balize House. You cannot.
To the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago in August 2003. As a Minister of Government in Trinidad and Tobago, a PNM Minister, and told him that there was bid rigging taking place in Udicott.
He went as a Minister of Government, as a PNM Minister, and told him in August 2003, Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Patrick Manning, there is massive bid rigging taking place in Udicott. That there are Chinese workers, not a worker from Belmont. These are his words. You touch down to Bill Napa and only Chinese people are seeing. Nobody from Belmont, nobody from Gonzales, nobody from behind the bridge. No problem. But how come Kitos, Emil Elias outside child, how come you tell this story in 2009? If this happened in 2003, Kitos, what happened in 2004? Black people were suffering in this country then. What happened in 2005, Keith, when the 1% was growing, when man was opening a store a month? What was going on in the black communities, Kitos, in 2006? What happened then when you knew that Calder Heart was running amok, that there was bid rigging taking place, billions of dollars, 10 times worse than Piarco Airport? What happened in 2007 when you campaigned for the same man? Where you campaigned for the same PNM. 2008, you're still eating, Sharon eating, your girl children eating, you're squirreling away some for your two boy children that you can't tell the country about. It's 2009 when Calder had pick you and kick you, that you come to throw a tantrum in the parliament. I went to the Prime Minister in August 2003 to tell him there was massive bid rigging taking. What happened in the 6 years between? When you were eating cabinet food and drinking cabinet wine.
What the Commission of Inquiry is looking at is 10 times worse than what happened with Piarco Airport. And it's even more brazen. The PNM is on trial. Because those of us who were here and carried the O'Halloran stain.
I want you to listen. Keith Rowley's constituency, who put Keith Rowley in office every year for 31 years, Bagatelle, Covine, Rich Plain, Factory Road, Diamond Vale Industrial Estate, Mason, Saganga, La Puerta, Broome Street, Abbey Pujad, Big Yard, Hague Street, Point Kumana, St. Peter's. Help me out. Inside of there, they have more black communities running up the hills. That's who vote him into office. When the slave catcher mentality tell them, I black, you black, both black. Here where this man think is his constituency.
We cannot take the position
Listen to who
that this is all talk. In 1986, when we went to campaign in my area, I was there. I don't know who else was there. I was there. And you're going door to door. And they're slamming doors in your face in Westmoreland, in Glencoe, in Bayshore, and all they tell you. And they're slamming doors in your face in Westmoreland, in Glencoe, in Bayshore, and they're slamming doors in your face in Westmoreland, in Glencoe, in Bayshore.
Not one black community made the list. Not one. Central Monsters. You're in the wrong place to throw a tantrum. Trust me when I tell you that. Not one black community made that list. People of Rich Plain, didn't have water for 62 years. It is Colin Hamilton, God rest his soul, and myself and others in 2015 that went to Wassa and negotiated with my partner who get murdered, God rest his soul as well, that went and climbed Rich Plain here and came up with a plan to get water for Rich Plain. And when we get water for Rich Plain, this same son of a bitch, Keith Rowley, went to the Integrity Commission to tell them Wassa supporting my campaign by giving the Diego Martin constituents water. He didn't get vexed with me, you know. He got vexed with Wassa. Because as far as Keith Rowley was concerned, slave catcher, that he was responsible for who get to drink and who don't drink.
All they tell you about is O'Halloran. And today, every school child in this country knows that there's something called Udicott and it smells to the high heavens.
And it's still smelling stink. Under you, Keith Rowley. It's literally under you. And I know, and I can't prove it, Harry back in charge of it. And he thieving billions. And I know that Udicott is under you. And Azat Holdings that got the $51 million to resurface existing doors under you. It is you told Noel Garcia, take Udicott money. You and Harry back told Noel Garcia, take Udicott money and file a pre-action protocol letter for defamation as if Udicott could be defamed. Udicott is a cash register. It's like my toaster suing me. It belongs to me. It functions for me. It answers to me. But you have it suing me for asking, how did Terence Dialsing's wife, Sherma Dialsing, as general manager of Marcel Laban's company, Unicom, get the contract to provide solid brass? 20,000 pounds of brass was the architect's estimate. How did they get to supply Keith Rowley cheap aluminum, painted brass, and build the state for brass railings, as the railings in the highest court of the land, even the parliament, all your rape, even the parliament, you, Harry Back, and the rest of your friends rape. Noel Garcia, your partner in crime from Las Alturas, you and he, and Harry Back, and the rest, raping the country through Udicott. What going on in Santa Cruz, in Rincon? What going on there? What going on with the Aripo farm? What going on there? All your teeth in hole and in grab, and I'm telling you again, and I'm saying this to all of you in this fake PNM, in this leadership of the PNM that fooling black people to enrich 1%ers, I'm telling you again, light candle, burn incense, shake anything you could shake, brother. Hope and pray. We don't get a chance. Gary, we live, eh? You're making a contribution on the live?
I have to make a contribution because...
Gary Abboud is live with us tonight. Good evening, Gary.
Good evening, Philip. I've spent the past 2 days investigating the Moruga fishing facility, and we have found some startling facts. The facility is 1,500 square feet. The well shows that it's just concrete wall with a steel roof, and inside there are about 50 locker. There's a ice making machine, and there's vending facility for about 8 in the front. So they are putting out that building and claiming that it's costing $62 million.
93 million, they say.
No, Moruga, they said was 62, I think. Moruga.
Oh, are you talking about Tableland? No, it's the same facility. The agro-processing facility is 93 million, they say.
93 million is the agro facility, but we don't have the drawings on that. But the Moruga Fishing Center.
Oh, the fishing center. Sorry about that.
In the Moruga Fishing Facility, they're billing it at a cost of $4,000 a square foot.
Wow.
Now, I don't not saying that I'm a construction expert, but we just built a building that cost us $8 square foot, air conditioned, escalator, and elevator, and it cost us $800 a square foot. It's a first-class building, and we operate our business from there. How are they building a fishing facility with locker rooms and a at the front and an ice maker? It's more than $100,000 at $4,000 without cost overruns. There's something very wrong with the way that the government is posting, and they keep posting these.
But Gary, I want to tell you, this contribution you're making is so important, but you're breaking up so badly. Gary, I don't know if you're hearing me, but I don't know if you could, you just went completely and you now come back. Could you try and call us back in a little while from a better location?
Okay, can you hear me now?
I'm hearing you now, but the people, they missed a lot of what you were saying.
Okay, what I'm saying is that they're building a facility that's 15,000 square feet. It has locker rooms, an ice making facility. Couldn't cost more than $100,000 CT dollars. And then for 7 vendors at the front of the building, and they're claiming that it cost in excess of $4,000 square foot. All I'm saying, government keep putting out these statements that they're spending money, but it's money that is at a stated value, and the communities are not getting value for money. Now, throughout Trinidad and Tobago, we are selling fish where fishermen don't have. Yet you're coming now to claim that you're building a facility at 10 times more the construction cost of anything else in the country. And the rest of the country is left out. They had consultation in Moruga, but they never consulted them on what they wanted. They consulted them on what was being given. And as a community that has not had anything for 40 years, the community, the whole country left any basic facilities in the fishing sector has been given the respect of being asked for what we need. We have the oldest legislation in the fishery sector on the planet. Now, into lockers, a quarter per square foot. I mean, the average construction cost for a warehouse is $400 a square foot, paying $4,000. Which I'm saying to you that without the procurement regulations, this is a strictly inflict, and the government are thinking that what they're giving us is a big rip-off.
Gary, they announced a school in Tobago at $200 million.
God, you could build 10 schools for that.
A school is $20 million, and that's a fantastic school. How you building a school for $200 million? But Gary, I want to ask you a question. In this country where the Prime Minister is the boss, if it is him you have to report crime to, if he in on the crime, who you going to report?
Too many people are suffering, Philip. Too many people are suffering. I feel that everybody who's listening to this program should spread the word that we cannot reward this kind of behavior, this arrogance. Even Nafisa Mohammed can't resign. I'm not saying that, I'm not trying to persuade people that they should go one way or another, but you cannot vote for the red and yellow. You cannot. The yellow have too much of a history behind them. The red have proven themselves. Give the orange a chance. Give somebody else a chance to come in. Even if the PAP failed, they could not fail us worse than the red and the yellow have failed us. And your statements and your public pronouncements, we will hold you to account for all that you've said over the past 3 years.
Not only that, we wouldn't rest until we have Gary Abboud in the cabinet as a minister of the environment. And I'm serious when I say that. There are a lot of good people in this country who have been locked out of opportunities to represent the people and elevate the condition of this country. And that has to end.
We have a lot of young people, Philip. We have to step aside. I'm 61. I would be there to support you in every way that I can. Let us let the young voices come out and lead.
Absolutely, Absolutely. But I want to say this to you also. We've never had people in social development and management. We've never had people in environment and animal rights, and those things need to be built before you can hand it over. And I just say that to you with an abundance of respect. I know there are things about the environment and activism that what you forget I learn yet, and I know how to respect my elders. But I want to tell you, brother, you have a role to play, and I'm glad that you're taking the opportunity to speak out. And it is not that you're speaking out as a member of the PEP, but you're speaking out as a citizen who has been speaking out for decades on areas of abuse. And I thank you very much for your
Philip, can I mention something to your audience, because many people may not be aware
You go ahead.
that the government are advertising that they're putting infrastructure from Kumutu to Guayco. They're putting in this highway. The highway is costing Trinidad $80 million dollars per kilometer. It's just to pave a road on hard surface. Now, what is the worst part about this highway on the Aripo Savannas is that they are discriminating against what I mean is that Las Cuevas settlers since Chambers era. Now, I don't support squatting, but I sympathize with the landless, that they have etched out a living out of nothing. And I don't support or encourage squatting. But in Las Cuevas, people were brought there by an ex-prime minister and told to occupy state lands. Today, 35 years later, UDCOT is telling them right now as we speak, is telling them that they have to pay $15 a square foot. So $1,000 house lot. And nobody occupies a house lot because people have little plantain, banana, Christophine, all kind of little thing growing. The average occupation is an acre. So you have to pay $600,000 an acre. 20 years ago, we negotiated the price with the government at that time at $1 a square foot in sympathy with farmers and the fact that they are not an affluent sector. But today, UDCOT is enforcing these exorbitant rates and have given 12 of our members quick notices where they have to evacuate land that they have occupied for more than 30 years. Why this is important is because in Mutu...
Is this Rincon you're talking about?
Sorry, Rincon?
Is Rincon you're talking about? Just today I hear about that.
Right now, today as we speak, right
Yes.
now this is going on. And I wrote a letter to UDCOT, I've checked into it. We don't know what to do because UDCOT has all the authority of the government, all the authority of millions and millions of dollars of state machinery and state legal services and state bulldozers to come and move our people. And all we is flesh and blood. But in Kumutu, where we have the Aripo Savannas, which is environmental protection because scientific reserve, and it has this protection. As we speak, people are cutting the Kumutu, the Aripo Savannas, and squatting in the savannas. So on the one hand, government is discriminating against their own people in Las Cuevas, which is predominantly a PNM area. And the PNM are being bulldozed and run over their own people. But in Kumutu, which is a flexible seat where they're not so safe, they let squat in their Aripo Savannas, and it is a scientific reserve. What makes it worse is that the government have spent $400 million of scarce money and are boasting about it in television and newspapers with this month. UNC had a price of $550 and they have done it for $400 million. But they haven't included the cost overruns. They haven't included the same contract that they have contracted as being investigated for price fixing by the same government. Neither have they made it public that the highway begins 300 meters from the Kumutu main road and ends 600 meters from the Guayco main road. And they don't have funding or approval to connect it. So we now, as a country without foreign exchange, with a deficit of trade, with an imbalance in our budget, we are spending $400 million with a contractor who is condemned by the same government for price fixing. And they're building it and it cannot be used. It's a highway from nowhere to nowhere.
Wow.
So it's just a colossal failure and the people are not...
What you're talking about there is insane.
It's insane, Philip. It's insane. I'm not against them if they want to put infrastructure, but put sensible infrastructure. Consult the national population about what we need. What we already have the Valencia bypass. What we needed, and every resident of Kumutu, of Valencia, of Standy Grande will tell you, What we needed is just to widen the Valencia stretch at a fraction of a cost. Instead, they're letting people squat in their repo savannas, which is an environmentally sensitive area, for thousands of years to come. But in Las Cuevas, where settlers were taken by George Chambers himself, they're persecuting our people. But maybe because they are affiliated with me and with FFOS, they're persecuting them. Persecuting them.
Gary?
Sorry to be so emotional about it.
No. What I want to ask you is, when you're going up, because Akil Camps, our candidate for St. Anne's East, came by my house tonight to tell me about Rincon. And I want to tell you, when you're ready to go up, I want to go up with you and see the people. If you could organize some kind of conversation with the elders, let us go and have a conversation now, because this is beyond politics. We have to stand up for these people. These people don't have the means to stand up against
They don't have the means.
They don't have the means.
They don't have the means. They're being discriminated against.
That's discrimination. That is economic discrimination. We have to stand up for that. Gary, thanks a lot for making the call.
Thanks for being there, Philip. Okay, good luck to your people and good luck to your audience. And I'm standing here ready to serve if you need me.
Thank you, my brother. Gary Abboud, one of the longest serving, strongest activists in this country. One of my first acts of activism, I sat on a highway under a tent with Gary when he was leading a protest against the removal of the mangrove. Gary Abboud, and I want to tell you, it feels right when people like that. You see, Gary will pick up the phone and call me, Phil, and tell me that you say what you say there, that's too harsh. Change how you say that. And I take guidance. I take guidance from people who I could trust, who I know that their heart in the right place. Not somebody calling me and saying, you say this too harsh because you're getting money from UDCOT, or you're getting money. Keith Rowley said UDCOT smells the high heavens. So if UDCOT smell the high heavens, then what's going on now? Because if UDCOT stole $1 billion under Manning, and it's stealing billions under Rowley, come on, man.
If this country cannot call to order its Prime Minister and his cabinet and his political party to say we are not accepting that, then God help us. Why should people be sacrificed so as to allow others, wrongdoers, to prosper?
Kid Christopher Rowley, you are a shame. You are a damn shame. You promised so much and let the people down. You have turned poor people. I want to say something, and I believe this in my heart. I have been alive and I have watched. I have seen people do wrong and pay for it here. You don't get away. You don't get away. People might think you get away because they don't see and they don't know, and you hide it well. You hide it well. Franklin don't want to be watching this feed. Franklin want to be watching in the mirror. Life draining out of Franklin. When last time you see a picture of Franklin Khan, life draining out of him. Rohan Sinanan is the next one. Rohan Sinanan, you know I know everything about your family, brother, and I could have been putting your business in the road long time. Long time. I have been showing you something like respect, but damn it, man. Y'all talk like y'all don't give a damn about people. Y'all sit down in that cabinet like lords. And the only reason you end up inside of there is because of the drunken romp of the UNC, that people wanted to just see the back of Ram Logan and Anil Roberts and Kamla and the rest of the crew. So we give all you a chance, and this is where you do with it, boy. And it is time. I want to tell you, Trinidad and Tobago, it is time. We can't exchange again. Can't exchange again. You exchange Pandey for Manning. Manning was abused, Pandey was abused. Manning come back and abuse harder. You exchange Manning and you put Kamla. It's pure robbery. You move Kamla and you put Rowley, it's rape. You can't bring them back. You cannot. Kamla Prasad Bisasa is a liar and a thief. She steals my words. Kamla Prasad Bisasa put this out. I asked them. I said on TV, it is not enough to say we created 50,000 jobs. Watch them. Watch them like they sit down and they watch the live videos. Digital Innovation Park. You knew that in 2010 to 2015, Kamla? International Cruise Ship Marina. You knew that in 2010 to 2015? Biotechnology manufacturing. You knew that? You knew to bring manufacturing? You want to go and build Tobago's first locally branded hotel. Same bacchanal we escaped from Sandals. All they're going to come and try and do. Bring back sugar. creative arts, energy logistics hub. I mean, they're just pelting words at you now. Solar tech, all of this is the same thing, you know. All of this could fit in the same space. Aircraft maintenance, repair, and operations hub. Southwest Peninsula Economic Zone, steel pan manufacturing, agro-processing, all of this. Well, let's sit down and listen to our live videos to come and pretend that you have an idea for your 50,000 jobs. It's easy to Google and put terms. Tell me, drill down. Let me drill down. Kamla Pasad business, I'll call it out again. Drill down. Tamana Solar Tech Renewable Energy Park. Who interested in that? Which company interested in that willing to come to Trinidad and Tobago and set up shop, and how much jobs? You say it's 50,000 new jobs. East-West Biotechnology Manufacturing Corridor. What does that mean? Stem cells? Who is interested in coming here to do that? How much is the investment? Are they investing or are we? And how much jobs they bring in? Digital Innovation Park at Sevilla, Cuba. The same stupidness Manning built in Wallerfield at ETech. So if there in ETech, you're going to move it from Wallerfield, that we spend $1 billion, and you're going to put it in Cuba. So tell us in Cuba, who it is coming into your park in Cuba, how much jobs they created. International Cruise Ship Marina. We have 2 cruise executives on the Progressive Empowerment Party leadership. And I want to tell you something. The cruise industry is not going to be finding its feet back for at least another 2 years. One of our pillars was multiples of cruise ship marinas, but you still copy it. Who you're dealing with? Who come in? When everybody mothballing their ships. Who told you that they want to do a joint venture with you and build a Plymouth International Cruise Ship Marina? Or you're just going to build a marina like Manning built a financial center on the waterfront, and who come? Tobago's first locally branded hotel. This jackass just took all the state funds from the HSF and give it to a set of hotel owners. So we now own all them old shit hotels in Tobago. Why not renovate them, put them on the market, and market Tobago before you're looking to build anything else? Tobago have more hotel rooms right now than citizens, and you can't sell tourism for the next 2 years at least. You have to wait till COVID-19. St. Madeleine Sugar Manufacturing Facility. What is this about? Who is growing enough sugar in this country that you could get them to manufacture sugar? Because under your watch, EMBD gave away sugar land to all kind of massive acreages. So where is sugar coming from, Kamala? If you're building a manufacturing facility in St. Madeleine, where is sugar coming from? West Port of Spain, Trinidad Creative Arts Street Area. Place to drink, punching, and wind down low. It's another way of saying we're building a bar. Point Galeota Energy Logistics Hub. This one I love because it is right next to the Solar Tech Renewable Energy Park. So an energy logistics hub next to a renewable energy park. It's like you just pelted words and see what stick on the wall. Tell me, Kamala, who come into the energy logistics hub, who come into the Solar Tech Renewable Energy Park, and how many of the 50,000 jobs they bring in? Tell me again. Cedros Maruga, Southwest Peninsula Economic Zone. What does that mean? Who you're bringing in the economic zone? Tell us who has expressed interest. East Port of Spain, steel pan manufacturing. So you're going to create jobs to give pan men work to make pan. Brechin Castle Agro-Processing Complex. Because you hear us say food self-sufficiency in the short term, food export in the medium, and agro-processing is a way. Is this a state investment, Kamala, or has people expressed interest in doing agro-processing in Trinidad and Tobago, and how much money they invest in and where the jobs coming from? Piarco Aircraft Maintenance, Repair and Operations Hub. If one thing in Trinidad and Tobago has bled money in this country, I mean bled red ink forever, is Piarco. Everything to do with Piarco. Old Piarco, new Piarco, Caribbean Airlines, Biwi, any of them, all of them, Titas, every single thing that ever happened in Piarco bled money. So you're going to build an aircraft maintenance, repair and operations hub. For who, Kamala? Who come into Trinidad and Tobago to repair their plane that all don't already have somewhere to repair their plane? No. Who has expressed interest, Kamala, in coming to Trinidad and Tobago to build an aircraft maintenance, repair and operations hub? Or is this another investment for you and the boys to build with state funds for nobody to come, wasting people time, printing shit to chain up Indian people and fool them into believing that you have a clue? you. You don't even have an idea. You don't have a destination. You don't have a location. You have nowhere to go and all the time in the world to get there. You are lying to your followers. You are trying to lie to the people who do not know what they're doing yet and talking about splitting the votes. They have to be splitting their mind to vote for you. The last time we put a UNC government in office, all your thief everything. You didn't have to turn off the lights when all they was leaving. All your thief the light bulbs and all. And you're asking why we ain't prosecute nobody, because in this country, shark don't bite shark. And PNM and UNC is two sides of the same corrupt, cancerous, thieving coin. And it's going to take a progressive empowerment party government to bring all you to justice. And I am calling on Trinidad and Tobago tonight. Tell your friends, tell your family, if you want a better Trinidad and Tobago, it's going to start with us going back to all the bandit friends of Kamala, Keith, Pandey and Manning and getting back our money. The $242,000 that was paid to Brian Manning by UDCOT. Here back, what you're paying Brian Manning for? His candidacy? Is this a down payment? Is this a start? I want to know. Why is Brian Manning being paid $242,000 with UDCOT dollars to go and run for elections in San Fernando East? Is that happening? We need to know what is going on in Trinidad and Tobago. If you want real representation, you can't play this dance of who more black and who more Indian. That ain't work for you ever. Indian people lost under UNC and black people lost forever under PNM. And all you know that. You know that you have to hate your children to want to vote for any of these nasty, corrupt, criminal organizations again. You want a better Trinidad and Tobago, you're going to have to stand up and work for it. More importantly, you're going to have to use this finger and vote for it. And on August the 10th, we're ready. The Progressive Empowerment Party has stood strong. From the day we launched, we said, we have a plan, we have a mission, we have policies, we have programs, we have ideas, to the point where even these two clowns know to start copying and following us. No, we don't have the pocket financiers. No, the contract mafia not helping us. No, the cocaine barons don't send no money for me. I am happy with that, because we are going to secure the nation's borders and drop the hammer on the drug barons. We are going to make sure the banking sector counts through a commission of inquiry for all the money that ever passed through this country. We are going to show you who are the white-collar bandits and the criminals that were involved in laundering corrupt cocaine dollars in Trinidad and Tobago. You want a better TNT? You're going to have to vote for it. And PNM and UNC, if they got us to here, broke this nation, playing bacchanal and noise, pointing finger and blame, you think you're going to get anything different if you vote one of them in the office now? Two sides of a dirty toilet paper is the same dirty toilet paper. Why would you even think about that again? Harry Back know who Harry Back is, and I will expose him soon. But Trinidad and Tobago, we have one last opportunity. They are going to slam the door on your human rights and civil liberties after this election. They're in a hurry to do that. They're going to say COVID-19 requires these special powers. I am telling you, the 1% contract mafia that are operating blackface and Indian face to fool you have one intention for you: to consign you as laborer and consumer and hush, take jam. The Progressive Empowerment Party is that fresh breeze of liberation. We are the opportunity to move from where we are to where we always knew we wanted to be. It is not going to be an easy road, but it is going to be a successful journey. And we have shown you at every step of the way. Gary Abboud said it, thousands of hours of video. Go and check. Every single thing that we have ever said we stood for or we were going to do, we have stood by that. The Progressive Empowerment Party, the People's Empowerment Party, the PEP. You want a better TNT? On August 10th, vote to save Trinidad and Tobago. Save TNT. Vote PEP. Stay safe.